Got it. All right. I'm going to put this back in the beginning. And we are officially live. Right now we have the... Okay, we are live. We're live. They only see a black screen saying, hey, this is Weekly Weekender, a wrap-up of the latest movie and industry news for the week. Hold on to your butts because the stream is going to be beginning soon. That's all they can see. I don't know if you're watching the YouTube channel right now, but hey, we got viewers already. So, hey, guys, we are about to go live. We got Miss Rhiannon Roberts in his house. So, let's start the 30-second timer here. Boom. Live in 30 seconds, even though we're pretty much technically live. Got a cool, psychedelic, interstellar inspired intro coming right up. What the F is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to Movie Pop. Of course, it is I, your venerable, yes, Mr. DJ Washington. And today I am so pleased and so graced to be with the wonderful and beautiful and hilariously wacky, crazy, talent of all kinds, Miss Rhiannon Roberts. Rhiannon, what up, my shrimp?
You're awesome. Always a pleasure. I always love talking to you. We were just talking about that yesterday too. Like we can go for months and just talk for hours now.
Talk for hours, and we'll just have like this self-congratulatory like circle jerk going on about how awesome we are and how awesome our conversations are and how woker than woke we are.
Yes, exactly. No, this is so awesome to be back on with you.
Nice. Dude, seriously, I really appreciate it, and I'm sure our viewers appreciate it too. So nice to have, two people who know what the F they're talking about, because I feel like I'm an amateur. We talked about this before we went live. I'm like an amateur wannabe trying to do his thing, but like you've actually worked like for HSN, you've worked for NASA, for SpaceX. What's your pedigree for those who don't know?
I did a lot of entertainment for like 20 years. Yeah, worked in the film industry for like 20 years, so I might know a thing or two about industry news.
You son of a bitch. That was my plan before COVID ruined everything for all of us, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you have forgotten, it's probably been about a solid year since Rhiannon and I jumped on the live stream broadcast. Dude, right now, I just need to shut the F up because we got our boy, longtime follower, friend, also PGS community member, that's a mouthful, Mr. Paul in Long Beach. He's saying, hey, some of us are here, and cheers, DJ. So you know what, to Paul, I raise my cup to you. I've got some Evan Williams single barrel whiskey and on the rocks, and Rhiannon's got what are you drinking on there?
It's like 2 different bottles of wine that I've mixed together.
She's got a suicide going on.
I was at the end of like my bottles of wine. I was just like, I'm just gonna mix these. It doesn't matter. It's red wine.
That's right. Well, I mean,
like wine connoisseurs are like, oh God, that's horrible.
It's horrible.
No.
Well, cheers to that, and cheers to you, Paul. Thank you, sir, for being here. Seriously, bro. Really, I do not take our friends who join the program lightly. So, and I'd like to hear about, your perspective, whether or not this new Sunday format works out well. I think it does. If it's going to be truly a weekly weekender, the whole week has to have wrapped up, and a Saturday show is still the past week. So, yeah. Paul in Long Beach says, bowing to your greatness. Oh, well, sir, I will bow right back at you. I'd give you a curtsy if I could, but I'm not wearing underwear here. So, you know how it goes on the interwebs.
You're not wearing anything underneath?
No, why would I? Because I like to free ball it. I need air circulation. I need to retain my testicular what's the word? I heard when you turn like 50 or 68, you have like flapping sack Long John Silver balls.
But you're nowhere close to that.
Yeah, but I need to enjoy it while I got it, and these babies are keeping me warm. So.
You should have learned, though, in the past year of Zoom meetings that you always wear pants in case you have to get up. Because I have seen some things in the past year on our Zoom meetings.
Right.
Not our Zoom meetings. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, no, wait. What? Right. Yeah.
I've seen others.
Dude, there has been so much here. So Paul, bro, TMI DJ, he says. Yeah, sorry, dude. I know. We'll move past that, bro. Don't worry. It's been a hot minute. Like, I think the last show we did, it was probably you and me, Rhiannon, and it was a year ago. In May, I was in San Francisco, San Rafael, which I know Paul knows very well. And hey, there's my baby Tiffany in his house. Boop boop. Yeah, it was a crazy time. So much has happened during that time. I just kind of want to get everyone kind of caught up, maybe like on our own lives, our own perspectives, before we dive into these 10 really big topics, guys. Because we got a mouthful to talk about. I mean, so much has happened this past week. So, but how has it been for you? I guess maybe personally this past year. And then maybe share some of your thoughts on the industry, and I'll do the same, and then we'll move into topic number 1. That's all you, Shrimp.
Oh my God, sorry. My computer just froze, and I just had to quit Safari, so I'm so sorry. What was the question?
The Martians are coming. Do this, and you'll be saved. You're right. Yeah.
No, I've quit Safari, so now I should be smooth sailing from here.
You should have quit Safari like 10 years ago. Who uses Safari? I use Internet Explorer and Netscape Navigator on my phone. It's the best. It's the best.
Sure.
No, what I had said was, we've been basically a year since we did our last shindig here with our wonderful friends. And what has happened? Let's give a short summary of your perspectives on COVID, where you're at now, and then also your thoughts on the industry as a whole, how it fell from grace and is now rebounding. I'll share the same. Let's try and get this done in 5 minutes because we got 10 topics to cover. So
times have changed. So last show I was in Tampa, Florida. Then my husband and I moved to Santa Barbara, California for a while, and fortunately, I was a little hot-headed because I was thinking, I worked in the film industry for a long time. I can easily get work. Not during COVID. So I reached out to quite a few of my friends who actually work in the film industry and have fortunately been able to keep working. And I kept asking, hey, can I work on some sets with you guys? So I did go to some friends' houses and watch them working remote. So I got to see the behind the scenes, which was really cool. And then my husband got a job out here in Washington, D.C. area. So I'm out here. And apparently we've got cicadas, but I haven't seen a cicada.
What's a cicada again?
You haven't heard about it? It's all over the news.
Is it the freaky, that? What do we have in Florida? That's
no, those are different. No, cicadas are in this area where every 17 years they crawl out of a hole and millions of them are supposed to be everywhere. I haven't seen one freaking cicada at all. I was just at the Smithsonian Zoo yesterday, and this child was crying, and he's like, I want to take home a cicada. I'm like, I want to know where these cicadas are. And his dad was saying the most DC thing, which was oh, honey, there are millions of cicadas everywhere. You don't have to take one home. They're in our front yard. I'm like, I want to see a cicada. So anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about cicadas, but so no, I live in DC, and if you're wondering if we have that whole flood of cicadas right now, I haven't seen them yet.
Okay, real quick. Jean d'Arc says the Martians are coming.
Yes, on June 1st. I'm so
What? Wait, what the fuck is that? I didn't know about that. What does that mean?
You don't know about June 1st?
No.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so in the past year, as many of our viewers have probably done too, if you had asked me a year ago, do you have a TikTok? I'd be like, no, that's for kids.
Yeah, I don't have TikTok, and I don't support the Chinese Communist Party, so, but we'll get there. We'll get there today.
Okay, I re-downloaded TikTok, and that's where I get a bunch of information from, just what people are talking about. And apparently, the Pentagon is supposed to be releasing all of their it's not UFO, it's people in the chat can correct me. I think it's unidentified aerial phenomena. No. UAEs. Thank you.
Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah.
Something like that. So, yeah, they're supposed to be releasing all of this information, and it's been like on 60 Minutes and CNN. I don't know. Like after the past year, I'm open to anything.
So I'm really confused because I've been following this, and I thought the Pentagon had already declassified, like the UFO video of all videos, right? It's like
Yeah,
traversing, defying physics at all realms of space, and going into water, like.
yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was the pinnacle of the release. So you're telling me June 1st
No,
there's going to be
June
more?
1st, they're supposed to be releasing like all of the documents, like all the information that they know about these UAEs or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
So,
UAE, so United Arab Emirates. We're gonna find out more about them towheads. They're coming to
yeah.
invade, man.
My theory is that Marvel just has a really great marketing budget, and
Yes,
this is for
this
Eternals.
is all part of the Eternals plan. Yeah, this is next level marketing.
This is like the next level marketing that I could have never even thought of. So
Right.
like, yeah, it's just Eternals marketing guy.
Jean also says you have milk on your lip. Yes, I realize I'm drinking a frothy, almost cum-like. If it were not so, if it were not so viscous and cold, yeah, it would be that. But it's good. Thank you for letting me know that. What else we got here? I definitely just want to give shout outs to those who are here because this is totally. We were speaking, Rhiannon. Yeah, you were kind of reticent to share that the broadcast was happening. I posted kind of here and there, half-assedly. It's been a year. We've been locked in our COVID caves. I don't know if I still got it. So glad that these people are here. Paul in Long Beach, Jean the Arc, Tiffany, of course. Paul also says it's the 17-year bug invasion. Call Starship Troopers. Yes, yeah, we need Paul Verhoeven to lead us into space and fight off those alien invaders. And I definitely I want a RoboCop arm and dong.
There's
Climax
so many wild
achieved.
theories about June 1st. I'm just shocked that you haven't heard them.
Yeah, I'm shocked too. Honestly, I thought I would have heard something about it. So,
I'm floored right now.
oh, Paul says it's UAP, so unidentified
UAP.
aerial
Phenomenon.
phenomenon.
Yes.
It's
Thank
just
you.
a weather balloon.
Well,
You're just high. Listen to the what are the rolling gravestones, or what are they called? I'm combining two groups.
yeah, I
The
don't
grateful
know,
the
but
grateful rolling dead gravestones. That's what it was. I'm joking.
we shall
Anyway.
see on June 1st. Who knows? I've been getting into all sorts of wild things. Like I'm sure some of you guys have read about like the Gateway Project too. That was like, the CIA files that were.
Dude,
like,
you told me about this 2 nights ago, and I've already forgotten because it was like 2 a.m. So
Yeah, I'm sure like some of our viewers have already like gone
checked
into
out. They're like,
that.
"What the hell?" I'm trying to find about the goddamn movies, not about conspiracy. All right, I
Okay,
trust
I'm gonna
Fauci.
shut up. That's another show.
Right. Well, hey, on that point here, we've got viewers in. I think we've had a nice buffer time to catch up. I'm not going to ingratiate you with my stories. It's irrelevant. It's boring, and I'm a person of color, so who cares about what marginalized people like me have to deal with? So let's talk about what white Hollywood's doing with our first topic. And our first topic is coming to us from the fine white liberal folks at the Hollywood Reporter. Boom! You see that right there? MGM has been sold to Amazon for $8.45 billion in a blockbuster deal. Good fudging Lord. Let's give you some context here. Disney bought 20th Century Fox for $7 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it 70? I keep getting this confused. I think it was $70 billion for yeah, that's what it was. And then Disney bought Lucasfilm for like $7 to $8 billion. Either way, that's a lot of freaking money, man. And I mean, MGM, they're not some rinky-dink movie studio. This has been around for over 100 years. So let's see what the Hollywood Reporter has to say on this. Very briefly, the deal, pending regulatory approval, values the studio at $8.45 billion. Quote, the real financial value behind this deal is the treasure trove of IP in its deep catalog that we plan to reimagine and develop together with MGM's talented team. It's very exciting and provides so many opportunities for high quality storytelling. So yeah, Amazon's going to get a nice kick in the heel as far as quality content, legacy, and moving forward. The acquisition revealed just days after AT&T announced a $43 billion plan on May 17th to spin off its Warner Media division, which included HBO and Warner Brothers, to Discovery, which marks the latest major consolidation to rattle the entertainment industry. So if you didn't understand that jargon there, that basically meant Amazon done swoop up and caught MGM from up behind its skirt, and AT&T had done the same thing already to HBO, caught up behind the skirt, basically became a Minute Maid, squirted and did its thing, and was flaccid, and realized that, that was not such a good plan. They probably should have wined and dined HBO, Warner, and their plan basically fell flat. So what's the metaphor there? The metaphor is this. AT&T is a telecommunications company. It's not a movie mogul studio. They didn't know what the hell they were doing when they decided to release all of their top tier films this year. Matrix 4, Mortal Kombat, anything else, whatever that came out on Warner, came out simultaneously on AMC and HBO Max. Because in their mind, oh yeah, we're AT&T. People will subscribe. They're stuck at home, blah, blah, blah. You get the story. Bad move. Really, really, really bad move when you don't tell your film production companies, your distributors, your actors, your directors, you don't tell them any of this, and they find out through trade magazines that that's how their films are being released, despite having contracts saying the contrary. So, help me, Rhiannon, and rant.
Pretty crazy. No, we were just talking about this earlier of like Jeff Bezos, I think, is like destined to take over the world at this point with everything that he's owning.
He's buying pharmacies next, apparently.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, he's just going to get us all hooked on fucking OxyContin. And, I guess I'll buy this and stream this. And it's going to be like By and Large from fucking Wall-E. Is one big conglomerate. You can just... Exactly.
He also has his aerospace company, Blue Origin. Yes. I mean, he's all over the place. I was looking up like some of the companies he owns. I'm just like, goodness gracious, this guy's going to like just take over. Yeah. I feel like old Jeff Bezos will just like find a way to like keep living.
He's into that. He's into blood transfusion and all that shit. Of course. They all are.
Also be like an AI. He's going to like figure out a way to like make himself an AI and just keep going down the path of like owning the entire planet at this point.
Right. Yeah, he's going to be a part of the singularity. He's already hit up. Hey, what's up, Mark? Hey, what's up, Jeff? yeah, you're my favorite android. You and Elon. Oh, yeah, you want to join the club? Yeah, chip me up, baby.
Elon's already started. I bet like A12, his little baby, is
right.
Like right. It's just his clone to take over everything. But yeah, no.
Sorry, I'll let you get back to this. I want to prioritize the viewers here. So Paul says, yeah, well, they told Gal Gadot. Did they really? This is regarding the whole Warner Media release schedule. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of a low bar to set, right? Like your AT&T studio executives were like, all right, so it's first quarterly meeting here. We just bought Warner Media. We're gonna release all this shit online and get more subscribers for our AT&T universe. Yeah, who do you guys think we should tell? Maybe Chris Nolan, one of our most prolific directors of all time. He's on the bankroll for Warner. He's been here for 20 years. No, I think we should tell Gal Gadot, and we just call it a day. Yeah, sounds good, sir. I like it.
So they just told her, and that was it?
Apparently, that's what Paul's telling us.
Wow, that's news to me. Interesting.
What the hell? I don't understand. Like, you're running like multi-billion-dollar global conglomerates. You've got a wealth of fantastic like studio. Just
interesting strategy,
right? And you don't communicate to them.
Mm-mm.
And they read about it from the news. Like, they just woke up and took their morning. They dropped their Cosbys off at the Super Bowl. That's what I call taking a poop. And then they're on their phone, and they're like, wait, what the hell? My movie that I've been working on for the past 4 years is going to streaming? What?
That's insane. So wait, for Gal Gadot's 1984 Wonder Woman, they just told her and like no one else?
Well,
I'm assuming that's what you were talking about.
yeah, no, you're correct, and I'm assuming that's as well. That's what Paul just left here. I did not catch that small tidbit.
Huh.
My understanding was that all the, as far as like the executives involved. Okay, and then he says, and the director of WW84, which is Patty Jenkins, because it was first. So because I guess WW84, Patty Jenkins, they were the first to be released with this whole new format, they got wind of it first, but everyone else none. But again, why? Sorry, just wanted to give credence to Paul here watching. So carry
Thank you.
on, however you wish.
No, that's interesting information. Although, like, I briefly like read the article. I am excited about Amazon's Hobbit series. So
Yeah.
if Jeff's gonna buy up everything, like, so be it. Like, I'm still gonna watch The Hobbit.
I mean, I watch it. I just don't
Getting
like
good quality
dirty.
stuff.
Huh?
Huh?
I don't like fucking dirty Brits walking around getting drunk off the wizard we, trying to chase elves and fuck magical fairies. That's not my thing.
You're not into that?
I'm not. I'm really not. You know how long it took me to get into
Oh.
Game of Thrones?
Oh, see, I never got into Game of Thrones. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate from that,
I
but
mean, you're messing up. If you like Lord of the Rings, you'll love Game of Thrones. I hate fantasy as much as I hate cats.
really?
But Game of Thrones, I heard so much about it. 8 years, I crumbled. Watched it. Ooh. Magnifique.
See, I don't know. There were so many prolific quotes and things to learn from in Lord of the Rings. So can't knock that.
It's me. Trust me, I recognize it on its own. I'm like, this is quality storytelling, quality filmmaking, ace, 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 ace. I just don't like dirty English people walking around with their big hairy feet and talking about wizards and mages and drinking beers out of wooden cups. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
The quotes though are epic. They get you through some really hard times.
My wife tells me the exact same thing. So I need to get into it. That's all.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
do. Maybe with the Amazon's Hobbit series.
Yeah, I have some faith in that. I think that's great because it won't be a truncated. Not that a 3.5 hour trilogy is truncated, but
Exactly.
could you imagine what they could do with that?
Oh, I know. Oh, wait, aren't they also doing a prequel to Game of Thrones? Right?
Yeah, I'm excited for
Wait,
that.
so is that going to be owned by Amazon now?
No, it's HBO.
HBO.
Yeah, I think it's the House of Fire or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul also says more walking through Middle Earth sounds fun. Yeah, dude, Paul,
Yes.
exactly.
Paul, I'm going to be friends with you. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably part of my problem. I think that's why Game of Thrones worked for me because I got to see kind of more of like the political intrigue, the more of the. It wasn't about the magic and because honestly, that's where season 8 of Game of Thrones felt for me. Like we're getting to the ice. What are the ice mages or what the fuck they were called? I forgot already. It's yesterday's news.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just not impressed. But when we had that grounded, gritty, political, dynamic between the mystical and like the warring regions, that's where I'm like, oh, okay, I can get on board. So yeah, if we're able to do something like that with a series across 5 or 8 seasons, an hour apiece, an hour apiece, yeah, it might work. You might get me on board. All right.
I don't know. I'm going to try and give it a go, too. I'm going to try and give Game of Thrones series I'm going to try that out.
For sure.
The prequel. I didn't like the Game of Thrones series though.
Oh, you're crazy. We won't get into that because we're gonna waste so much time. So
We'll move on. Sorry.
we'll move on. All right, guys. So here is what the motherfudging haps is regarding trailers. Bada boom, bada boom. We're talking about the motherfudging Tomorrow War. Holy crap.
And I was the one who sent that to you, right? Like you hadn't heard of that.
No,
before.
I had. I've been creaming my pants
Okay.
over Pratt for a while.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
we got the Tomorrow War. We got Last Night in Soho. We've got Eternals that dropped this week. I didn't mention M. Night Shyamalan's wet, flaccid wannabe trailer for a horror movie film because it looks kind of weak. But these 3, I think, all looked amazing. Rhiannon, you saw them. Am I wrong? Am I right?
All 3 of them look pretty epic. And again, I think the June 1st thing is just an Eternals advertisement.
That's right. It's going to be Kevin Feige coming out of that spaceship out of the water. on
Yes.
Fox News, and Tucker Carlson's like, "Oh, we're going to see your first alien on live." And, oh my God, is that President, Chief, and CEO of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, emerging from the waters? He's a lizard person.
And Jon Snow's in that. Not Jon Snow. Sorry, I didn't watch. Yes, yeah. Kit Harington.
I've linked many a night to my photos of him. So.
No, he's a Stark. What's his name?
Rob Stark.
Rob Stark. I'm sorry.
I don't know his
name in real life.
In real life, yeah, I don't know.
He's in that. Angelina Jolie's in that.
Yeah.
The actress from, oh gosh, the Asian wedding movie.
Oh yeah, Maggie Q.
Yes. Crazy Rich Asians. Just a really good cast in that.
Yep. Both show. I'm really excited. I think the Tomorrow War. I saw the trailer. The teaser trailer. Wasn't impressed. I had read some trade articles on it, and I was like, this sounds really cool conceptually. Saw the teaser. I was like, oh crap, doesn't look so good. But then finally, Amazon released the official first trailer, one of two, most likely, and I'm like, damn, this looks good. I like it. Pratt's funny, good sci-fi concept, a little different, kind of like that Tom Cruise movie. What was it called?
Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, love that movie.
Yeah.
Now, Eternals, not so impressed with, honestly, but I'm not going to give it any fault. It's a teaser trailer, so teaser trailers are often bereft of any kind of details. So, but provided that it's one of the tentpole films for the Phase 4 of the MCU. It's got a fantastic cast. We've got award-winning director Chloe Zhao, who I feel did not deserve to win that award for Nomadland, but we won't get there. And then last but not least, Edgar Wright's The Quartetto trilogy master is back with Last Night in Soho, and he is doing something I have never seen him do tonally. This is like watching a 1970s grindhouse horror film with some psychedelic horror elements, and I'm intrigued. I don't know what the hell it's about, but yeah,
it looks fascinating, and I love Anya Taylor-Joy. Is it Anna or Anya Taylor-Joy?
No, you have it right. Yeah, Anya. My name
is
Anya.
I love her. I've loved her before The Queen's Gambit, so really, really looking forward to seeing her in that role. Same with Matt Smith. I saw Matt Smith was going to be in that.
I saw them. Yeah, that's sexy beast.
Yeah, and we were just talking about that. We're interested to see if it's about like a past life or if it's like some like.
Right. Is it a past life or somebody being transported to the past?
Exactly.
I think past life. Remember that mirror sequence where she.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and then she gets like a hickey after like did you catch that?
I didn't.
She gets a hickey at some point, like in one of her like crossovers to the past, and then she like comes back to the present and she's got a hickey on her neck.
Curious. My tits are percolating.
Interesting.
All right then, guys, we shall move on to our third topic here. We're going to get a bit political. It's about to get a bit heated. So if you are a snowflake or you cannot handle the real freaking deal, you might want to put some non-GMO, Kundalini blessed, ultra kosher, organic USDA brand, like the head plugs into your ears so I don't like to offend you or whatever. But it's regarding cancel culture. And my boy, Seth Rogen, seems to be letting me down, in a sense. I'm being a bit hyperbolic. But before I get to that, what else we got here? Jean d'Arc says, hey, can you guys give my reviews about Netflix series The Serpent? Yeah, I've heard about The Serpent. Thanks, Jean d'Arc, Jean-Luc Picard, whoever you are. Have you heard about the series The Serpent on Netflix?
I have not. Let me look that up really fast.
Do it. I did myself. It intrigued me.
Okay, you talk about it. Okay.
It's got stellar reviews. I'll just pull it up. Why not? Since our viewers are asking, and we appreciate y'all. The Serpent.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I'm going to watch that this weekend. Directed by Tom Shankland. Why does that name ring a bell? The story of how the conman and murderer Charles Sabraj, played by Tahir Rahim, was eventually caught and imprisoned. Posing as a gem dealer, Sabraj and his girlfriend Marie, played by Jenna So-and-so, traversed Asia in 1975 and 76, committing a spree of crimes along the Hippie Trail. Oh, I've heard about the Hippie Trail from Duncan Trussell. Good, good. Okay. Dutch diplomat Herman Nipperberg investigates the disappearance of a young couple and soon catches up with Interpol's most wanted man, based off a true story. Nice. It's currently holding, what does it say here? 81% from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes, followed by 65% from critics. So I think that's definitely, it's certified fresh, whether on the critic side or not. Yeah. All right. We'll look into it.
Good. I'm going to try and check this out, actually. It looks like something I'd want to probably check out.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, you seen that yet? The Serpent, bro? I know you've been home. You've been sheltering in place for over the past year and a half, man. So I know the last movie you told me you went out and saw was Kong versus Godzilla, which was damn. That was an epic one. That's a good one to see in theaters. Did you see that? Random?
I did. I saw that from my living room.
No worries. What'd you think?
I loved it. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've had this conversation before. It's like if there's like anything epic, adventure, explosions, whatnot, like I will watch it.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Likewise, as long as it as long as it knows what it is and doesn't try to be more than the sum total of its parts.
Right.
It's fine. And dude, Kong did that exactly. It wasn't trying to be like, oh, Kong, let's get into the metaphysical aspects of his being and understand the psyche of a big gorilla. And no, it's just like, this nigga just wants to fucking...
I watch it for the script, let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I watch it for the CGI and the explosions and all that.
Right.
No.
Yeah, and it was great.
I liked it.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
I thought it was really cool how, because I knew obviously it wasn't going to be Kong versus Godzilla. It was going to be like Batman versus Superman. Obviously, some other entity would appear and they'd have to team up and fight it. I expected that, but the way they did that, I thought was clever. Way more clever than what they did in Batman versus Superman.
Right. And this one was like really, I don't know, it was really fast paced and it was easy to watch for Kong and Godzilla.
Much appreciated. Don't waste time.
Yeah.
It was a clean, tight, probably what, hour 30, hour 40?
Yeah.
You know? You weren't like, shit.
Right.
No.
Right. And I also felt pity for Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Like it actually like kind of reeled you in. You're like, oh man, I feel bad for Kong. I mean, well, you felt bad for both sides. You were rooting for both.
Kong. Yeah.
At least I was.
I mean, I wasn't rooting for the fucking lizard, but...
You weren't rooting for Godzilla?
Not really. He's a cold-blooded reptile. Even though I know he means well, but no, Kong. That's basically us, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't see Godzilla, you know, touching fingers with a little cute little girl, and no, but Kong is like he's like a little dog. He's like a
with the little girl. No.
All right. Next comment. When we're going to move on to the next topic regarding Seth Rogen and cancel culture. But Paul in Long Beach says, no, not yet. I totally forgot what I asked you about, Paul. Have you seen something? What did I ask him?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, the show that we were just talking about.
Serpent. I think so.
Had you seen The Serpent?
I don't know.
Yeah. Have you seen The Serpent? Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll trust you because I forgot.
I've been haunting like Netflix, HBO, Hulu. I've been haunting that for like a past year, so that's actually surprising to me that I haven't heard about The Servant.
Because Netflix is ubiquitous, and Paul knows this because we're both Campia fans. Netflix is just horrible with their marketing, horrible.
Yeah.
So you got to find out through third-party sources. But
that's why I'm on TikTok. Like TikTok tells me what to watch.
TikTok tells you what's up.
Exactly. They'll show clips of things. I'm just like, I want to watch that. I had no idea it was streaming.
Yeah, I remember I think there's a movie. Okay, there's this French director. His name's Gaspard Noé. He's done Enter the Void. He's done Love. Really like surreal. He's done Climax. Very surreal, very like pushing you to the max kind of films. Normally would never break the barrier of American like audiences like attention. But because of TikTok, his film Love was like one of the most top 10 viewed films on Netflix for like a week or two. So yeah, you're right on that point.
Incredible. Yeah, it's TikTok. Thanks to TikTok and people who share clips of movies that make me go,
right.
I want to watch that.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, I just watched a film that apparently came out years ago that I did not even know existed.
What's that?
It's on Amazon Prime. It's Flight 7500.
Is this worth my time?
I think, well, for me, I think it is. There's a twist at the end. Flight 7500.
Gosh.
For anyone who's heard of it, I don't know.
Okay.
It's like an okay film, but like the end kind of gets you. You're like, oh my God.
Jamie Chung's in it. Ooh. Paul says, Kong was my first time in a theater in 13 months. He's in California, obviously. I think the Paul in Long Beach handle gave that away.
Yeah. I have not been in... What?
He's going tomorrow for A Quiet Place 2, which we failed to watch this weekend.
I did not see that yet, and I want to see Cruella 2 as well. You're giving a stink face. You don't want to see Cruella? No.
That's something I'd go to if my wife said, I want to watch it. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. And then I just fall asleep.
See, I grew up on Disney, and...
But live action Disney has been such shit.
I love it. I've been eating it up.
All the live action ones, like Mary Poppins Returns and Aladdin.
I didn't want... Okay, I tried
Jungle
watching
Book.
Mary Poppins.
Jungle Book
I didn't get
cool,
into Mary Poppins. Oh, and I didn't watch Dumbo.
Oh, Dumbo. Yeah, I heard that tanked. What was the other one? Yeah, God. Just, even the fucking... What is it called? The... Angelina Jolie playing Maleficent. Like, it's all right, but it wasn't like...
I liked that, too. I really liked...
It was fine, but
Maleficent.
How many times have you seen it?
I usually watch a movie one and done. But I'm redoing the series of What We Do in the Shadows only because of the humor.
Because it's so good. That's what I'm saying, dude. If it's that good, you're going to watch it again and again for the next 20 years of your life until you're dead.
Yeah, I just can't watch something the same. I can't watch the same thing like over and over.
Guys, I promise we're going to get to this second topic.
Yeah. Sorry. Move on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's move on. Okay. I'll go with the questions and then we'll move on. We'll answer them quickly. Okay. Paul also says, I tend to favor the side that has opposable thumbs. So, yes, yeah, Kong. I hear ya. Ain't trying to fight for no scaly lizard dick. Man, my kids are not going to be railed up the bum by that. So it's going to be a hairy mammalian 80-foot dong that does that. All right?
Okay.
Okay, are we done?
We're done. Let's move on from that topic.
Bestiality is not PC yet? Okay, got it.
This is getting weird.
Noted. So our third topic is about to get even weirder because it's about Mr. Seth Rogen. Comedians shouldn't complain of cancel culture. It's coming from the guy who is all about dick and fart jokes and marijuana and wetback Mexicans, whatever you want to throw your hat at. Seth Rogen says, it's the nature of comedy for jokes not to age well. I think that's true. Adding, because obviously culture and times and people change. Adding that jokes are not things that necessarily are built to last. Seth Rogen appeared on Good Morning Britain this week, and he was asked to weigh in on his past movies containing controversial jokes. The relationship between cancel culture and comedy, as many comedians have been forced to reckon with dated jokes that are no longer appropriate in the present day. Yeah. Rogen said, how's the Seth Rogen voice go? To me, when I see comedians complaining about this kind of thing. Is that right? Close enough, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
When I see comedians have been forced to reckon with dated jokes that are no longer appropriate in the present day, to me, when I see this comedians complaining about this kind of thing, I don't understand what they're complaining about it. It's if you've made a joke that's aged terribly, accept that, and if you don't think it's aged terribly, then say that. He has that laugh, right?
Yes.
So I get.
I can't tell the difference.
Sure. I'll read it straight from here. But in my Twitter, I've never made a joke that's outwardly horrific in some way, and if you have, I would question why you did that, Rogan concluded. Saying terrible things is bad, so if you've said something terrible, then it's something you should confront in some way, shape, or form. I don't think that's cancel culture. That's you saying something terrible if that's what you've done. And so I'm at odds with this, Rhiannon, because on the one hand, what he's saying is completely logical, completely correct, and I agree with him. But cancel culture is not that. Cancel culture does not require one to reconcile with what they say and acknowledge that, hey, like in the 70s, man, like doing coke off a hooker's ass and slapping at her and, telling her to get the fuck out the house, bitch, and make me a sandwich. That's how we did. That's what a man did. And I recognize now in 2021, that's not really cool. That's not what cancel culture is. Right. Cancel culture is you say something to any degree that offends anybody from any period of time in your past history, you are to be held accountable for that, even in spite of you acknowledging it's not having aged well. And you should lose your livelihood, you should lose all your contacts, yada, yada, yada. That's cancel culture. So what he's talking about is not cancel culture. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I feel like learning from your mistakes is something that's just part of life. And as you educate yourself and as time, moves on, I know that I've said things that would probably instantly make me canceled. Mm-hmm. Like I've made jokes in the past that, now that I've learned and educated myself, like I go, oh yeah, that was wrong. That was a wrong thing to say. But back then I just said those jokes because other people were saying those jokes because it was funny at the time, but I don't want to repeat them on air, but they were categorically wrong. But now that I've educated myself and go, oh, it's not politically correct. I don't think that we should cancel people over those things. I think that people, it's just part of being human. You make mistakes and then you learn from them and then you're educated. And as long as you can go, oh yeah, now that I've been educated on that, that's wrong. I don't think that you should cancel the person. But I'm not too familiar with what the comedian did in this instance, but I don't know. Cancel culture is not something that I'm a fan of. I think everyone makes a mistake, unless you do something horrific.
So let's get into this, because we're about probably 43 minutes in, and there are actually topics I'd really rather focus on. One dealing with John Cena.
That's another one that's like going to be cancel culture or something, right? Yeah.
Then there's Kevin Spacey. So let's.
Another cancel culture.
I know, right?
We're like diving down the cancel culture thing.
So let's follow through. We're gonna stick on the cancel culture subject here because Paul in Long Beach has something to say. Apparently,
I do want to say like things that you say versus things that you physically do are different.
Yes.
So like
and intention, context is king.
Right. And like John Cena, that's going to be an example of like, oh, I didn't know that. I learned from it. I'm so sorry. Please don't cancel me.
And that's even more stupid. Even if he believes what he's saying, it's stupid.
Right. Right. And then for people who actually do some horrific actions, now that's a different thing from, I don't know. That's my preference.
Okay, so it's getting real spicy in here right now because Mr. Paul in Long Beach, my boy. And, Paul, I think we're both California natives. I am a self-professed ultra-liberal, born and raised in California. I was leading the ticker parade at the gay pride festivals. I've been literally on the front lines of Occupy Wall Street in New York City in Zuccotti Park. You can look me up on Fox News. You'll see my beautiful mug.
Really?
Oh, dude. Oh, I got to show you
famous.
this. Oh, yeah. I got some interview reels to show you, but I was there, man. Like, I was like, down with the system, down with capitalism, eat the rich, man. Fuck that, man. And
that's awesome.
Admirable as it was, I was young. I was stupid. The world is more complicated. Subjects are more nuanced than it may seem at first blush. Like, anyhow, that aside. So here's my thing about this whole cancel culture issue. Where are we? I'm getting heated. I'm having hot flashes right
Is it
Seth
the air
Rogen.
conditioning or is it the topic?
Huh?
Is it the air conditioning, the lack of air conditioning, or is it the topic?
No, no, it's a topic.
Yeah.
What Seth Rogen is talking about is not cancel culture. I think it is completely acceptable. I think it's great.
Right.
It's a part of growth strategy. You know, if you said something wrong or you've taken a change in position, you should not feel bad internally or through external pressures to change your position. You should be allowed to grow, right? And say,
I
hey,
agree.
what I thought was right last week or last year, I've learned X, A, Y, and Z. I'm changing my positions now based on these facts. I think the opposite of growth is for you to maintain your position either through mob mentality or whatever it may be that's not genuine to growth. And so what he's talking about is not cancel culture. Now, what Paul does say here, he says, he makes reference to, are you familiar with the Gina Carano issue?
Oh, the actress who
From,
got fired from Mandalorian.
what did she get fired for?
Um, some conservative remarks on
Conservative
her.
remarks. And even that is a misnomer. She
Right.
got fired for because there is this whole woke mentality from my fellow liberals that we have to conform to this whole idea of gender pronouns. And
Right.
you know, I respect that. Of course, there are transgendered people, there are non-binary people, there are people who fall in between different spectrums of self-identification. That's all fine and well. But when you start trying to mandate and institute these kind of policies and try to retroactively or currently lambast and slap people for making mischaracterizations, dude, I had a girl walk into my pharmacy last week I legit thought was a fucking dude. You know why? No makeup, like she had a hat on, like baggy shorts. Her attitude, her stance, the way she talked, it was just like, "Hey, yeah, my name is Joe Zhang." I'm like, "All right, sir, can I?" But I'm like, then I kind of saw like a little bit of tit. I'm like, "Ah, shit, not sir. I don't know what to call you. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Like, you know, first base reaction. I'm not trying to be rude, but you
Right.
can't judge people for like their lack of understanding on this very like broad spectrum. How many different
It's
pronouns
also
are we talking?
so new right now
It's so
that
new
like it's
too.
something that like we didn't grow up with. So
Exactly.
it's a transition that we're going through. Like I even mess up with people who I know who've switched genders, and it's
It's
just
not.
it's constantly learning. And like as long as you can apologize and be like, "Oh, I'm so
Yes.
sorry."
Apologize.
Right.
Genuine. Context matters
Right,
completely.
exactly.
And so in this
Exactly.
case with Gina Carano, when you ask me who was canceled, what did Gina Carano do, Paul? She made kind of like, she kind of poked fun at the fact that there's like 68 or 85 different gender pronouns. She, they, them, zim, zer, ger, zer, I'm not being facetious. Literally
Right.
zer, zer, ger, whatever the fuck it is. I'm sorry. I cannot, as a human being, keep up with every individual pronoun and know how to appropriately apply it to each person. So what she was doing was kind of poking fun at that on her own personal Twitter account, not during, you know, a press conference for The Mandalorian, not in any official capacity on Disney's behalf. She, as an American, is allowed to speak her rights. She's not saying transgender people are less than human. They don't deserve the same rights as us. Trust me, Lindsey Graham and members of Congress just 20 years ago, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, none of them agreed with gay marriage just 15 years ago. And now they're the woke leaders. But, you know, do you understand what I'm saying? You can have a position. She has a position. And it's her personal
Right.
position. And the fact that Disney felt that they were right to remove her from this series
Right.
because of her
And then
personal
people
views.
celebrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cancel culture. That is wrong. Now, I can
Yeah.
understand, hey, you're on the Disney red carpet. You better toe the line. You say he, shim, zim, zer, zer. You are an employee. You do that. All right. If you don't like that, cool, whatever. That's
I
my
know
issue with it.
I know Disney is really strict with their image, especially with like the images of, you know, their current actors. So it puts a lot of pressure on them in regards to what they post on social media. Like I know here in this country that you could work for, I don't know, Pizza Hut. I don't know, say you're an employee of Pizza Hut and you tweet something wrong, Pizza Hut can apparently fire you over that.
That's crazy.
Like
That's
I've
fucking
heard of
crazy.
stories of people who've tweeted something and then by the time they've landed, they found out that it's been retweeted and it's viral and they've been fired. I heard one PR person tweeted something that was, I don't want to repeat it, was atrocious, but it was supposed to be a joke. She flew to Africa, landed in Africa, found out that it had gone viral, and she got fired from her company.
We do not want you to hear it anymore.
Right. So it's.
Is that racist?
Yeah, but there's this really weird line of freedom of speech, but also representing a company.
And again, that was my point. If she was representing the company in an official capacity, I get it. You got to toe the company line. I work for companies. I understand that. I've got to be representative of that company. In your own free time, on Twitter, in your personal account, no relevance whatsoever. I'm sorry. People have to be able to express themselves freely while also maintaining their economic means of survival.
Yeah, I don't know what the Disney contract looks like. I mean, the Disney contract could actually say something like, what you say, do, everything in the public eye is a representation of Disney. So you if you're making good money from Mandalorian, or good money from whatever, then you got to watch yourself. But then at what point? Because I've known of people who have had relatively normal jobs with companies who posted something on social media and got fired.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about the company. It was about their personal beliefs.
Yes. And I'm sorry, there are two parts here from Paul that he mentioned that I missed. He did say, Gina Carano, she negotiated, signed, and banked a multi-million-dollar contract, then declared herself to be persecuted by pre-war German Jews. Really? Well, okay, Paul, here is the full scope of the situation. The way she said she felt like she was being persecuted like pre-war German Jews. And again, this is the context. Pre-war, before the concentration camps. What did it start with? It started with Hitler's campaign, cleanliness. You know how Germans are very, very industrious, they're very about order and structure and cleanliness. So it was a cleanliness campaign that started to revitalize post-World War I Germany, right? And that cleanliness mentality further extended into now ethnic cleansing and racial cleansing. And of course, the Jews fell into the fold. And it started off with one thing. It never was like a closet or a blanket like, you know what? I am Adolf Hitler, and I'm going to kill Germany, and we are going to kill other Jews off the bat right now. Make the camps, get this Zyklon, let's do this. No, it started off like, well, first you need to identify that you're a Jew. Wear a star. Now we need to monitor your movements. Well, now you can't live in these specific areas. We're going to move you to this place down the lake. We call them the ghettos. It's very swanky. It's cool. Now the ghetto's not good enough to getting overpopulated. We're going to move you on to, it's a camp. It's just a work camp. It's no big deal. It's fine. You'll be working with your family. It's cool. It's all German, yeah. It's gradual, right? It's gradual. So this is the nuance of what Gina Carano was saying. Her personal speech was being infringed upon, and she was being castrated as something other than she's not. I mean, if you see the interview, I know the multi-million-dollar contract deal you're talking about was with Ben Shapiro, who also happens to be a Jew. So if anybody would be offended by what you're saying, it'd be the goddamn Jew with the yarmulke on his hat, who is totally actually a Zionist. I love the guy, but he's a Zionist. Where is the logic there, man? Paul, I love you, brother. But you got to get out of that echo chamber in California. And that's why I'm out of there. Dude, I am a liberal to the heart, but there is some woke leftist craziness that does not make logical sense. That aside, again, I agree with you. If this was in the context of, if she said this on Disney time and property, a private company can do whatever it wants. But what she does in her own private time, that's her private time, man. We gotta maintain the integrity of our private lives and speech and freedom of speech, whether it's wrong or bad. That's the most important thing. I don't have to agree with you saying. She could have said, you know what? I fucking hate DJ Washington. He looks like a half-bred coon with nasty curly hairs and pockmarks all over his face and fudged up teeth. And he stinks. He's the worst kind of scum on earth. Movie pop, more like movie poop. Fuck DJ. And you know what? I'd be like, hey girl, appreciate you. You do your thing. I ain't gonna listen to you. But I'm not gonna be like, I don't want her fired. I don't want her working. My feelings are hurt. I got better things to worry about, brother. Hey, Digital Nomad Sage, thank you so much for being here, bro. It's getting heated. I love you so much, Paul.
See, I'm like,
Um,
can't even like begin to even
Paul,
talk about this because I'm like
I
so like
know.
I
It's
see both sides.
I see both sides. I get it. I'm a liberal. I get
I
it.
get it. I am too. I worked on the Bernie Sanders and not Bernie Sanders, sorry, the Biden campaign.
Yes,
So
I
like
remember.
you remember
Yeah.
I'm in one of his
I think
videos.
weren't you like on
So
Hillary's campaign too? That crazy witch.
no, I was just in Biden's campaign this past time.
All right,
I was in one
Paul.
of his videos, but no, I see both sides. I understand both sides. So like
Yes, I get it.
it's a really hard thing for me to talk about because like I can side with like protecting freedom of speech and saying, oh, she shouldn't have been fired by that, but also from working in the entertainment industry and knowing what a privilege it is to be hired by Disney in the first place and maintaining their image, and you're making so much money, just don't have a Twitter. Like, I
Well,
mean,
precisely that. Then like put it
when
in
I
your
was an
NDA
actress,
contract. Outline it.
right?
Make it a legal
When
binding document. If you didn't do that,
when
why
right,
are
when
you
I
complaining?
was an actress, one of my agents made me delete my MySpace account. This is really dating me, but like made me delete my MySpace account because I wasn't supposed to like voice certain views or show a certain image because then I wasn't castable. But because I wanted to make money, I just kept my mouth shut and deleted my social media. So, I mean, there's
All fine and well. Outline it.
right, right.
It's just like
So
YouTube, right? You know all the issues on
could have been in their
YouTube and their
contract.
partnership program. Like they don't
Mhm.
outline what it is that you can be fined for, and then they just arbitrarily decide like this is offensive and you're going to be
Yeah,
fined for it. Well,
yeah,
at least make the terms of agreement, the terms of arrangement clear. What is the line?
yeah. Well, I don't know what her contract looked like. So, but again, like what I was just talking about, like with companies, when you get on with a company, it doesn't necessarily say, hey, if you say something on your own personal social media, we're going to fire you. But
Well,
then
until the
you
NBA
can,
and the whole China issue, which we're going to get into with John Cena
right?
coming up next. But
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on from that.
all right, let's move on, guys. We've whew, man, is it just getting hot in here, or is it just me?
I'm just sitting here drinking my wine, going, I don't know what to say about this. I'll be getting hot water.
It's all love, but you know what? You know what the most important thing is, guys. All of us included here. Paul, you too, brother. I really hate the fact that whatever our positions are, left, right, center, whatever you want to call it, if we cannot have dialogue and be respectful of each other's opinions, and we just
Yeah.
immediately call each other like evil, because trust me, if you would have talked to Occupy Wall Street DJ, you know what he would have said about a Republican? Republicans are all backwards, idiot, Bible thumping cavemen who are stupid, materialistic money, business grubbing, blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's the echo chamber of me living like on the West Coast for my whole life. And then I got to be like on the East Coast living in Florida, and I saw like, no, there is a perspective that's valid here.
Yeah.
Let's just talk. But that being said, Digital
That's
Nomad Sage says he's
essential for moving forward is understanding both sides
Yes.
and being able to apologize and learn from your mistakes and not get canceled, because by canceling culture,
Yes.
it's just going to heat up our
You just
current
drive it underground.
just
You know what?
I wish we could forgive and forget.
Forgive and forget. And if they're so offensive and so atrocious, then you know what? Let your morally superior logic and argumentative perspective or positions defeat what you presume to be a fallacy. And if you can't hold your own in that arena, that says something about you as well. You just can't chant no hate, no speech. Blah, 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 we're gonna beat your beach nonstop and blare them and cancel them. No, that doesn't work. That's not a conversation. That's mob rule. So that's why I'm not a fan of cancel culture. Digital Nomad Sage says, I came in at the right time, KKK. And he said, KKK, what are you, where's your white hat, man? Grand Imperial Wizard, Digital Nomad Sage. Lastly, Paul in Long Beach says, oh, DJ, be kind to yourself. I know, man. We all have our flaws. I accept them. I'm a flawed human being in many ways.
We all are.
More than you know.
We all are, and it's so important to just like recognize that and learn from your mistakes and hopefully not get canceled in the meantime. I'm sure that a lot of things that we've said would have canceled
would
us
have canceled us if we were popular enough. But
if we were
fortunately,
popular enough.
yeah,
But then, like, if somebody points out and say, "Hey, like that was something
yeah.
that you shouldn't have said," then I learn from that.
You should.
I
God, okay. Can I
research
say?
it and go, "Thank you for educating me."
Yes.
Genuinely, like
Thank
that's
you.
not
Yeah.
sarcastic.
Thank you for.
I want to be educated.
Yeah. Thank you for pulling me out of the ghetto of ignorance and illuminating me to this new
Yeah.
world of knowledge. I'm better for it.
And we're constantly evolving. I just had a conversation with like an 80 something year old family friend of mine, and she said something that was very. I educated her. I mean, we're never going to stop learning.
Right. What did
I
she
mean,
say? Something?
even when you're
What
19
are
years
all these
old.
niggas doing on TV these days? You know, back in my day.
I'm not going to say what she said, but I had to like educate her.
Grandma.
And then you could
They're
just
not,
hear
they're
it
not
go,
niggers
"Oh,
anymore.
okay,
They're
okay,
persons of color.
yeah." No, I said something off color.
They're not even men or women anymore. They're shims. They're thems,
She's
theirs.
saying something. I'm just saying.
You gotta ask
she
their
said-
pronouns first.
She said something inappropriate, and I had to correct her. Not correct her. I had to kind of just say, "Oh, well, if you think from this perspective," and then when I told her from another perspective, she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." I didn't cancel her. I still love her. It's just you gotta, do it with love, guys.
Yep. Yep.
Such a hippie.
Hippie. All right, let's get into some cancel culture. But before we do that, guys, why don't you send me your hate mail? Because I'm sure there's plenty of hate mail coming this way.
No. None to me, please. I'm trying. I'm trying to be as centrist as possible and like look at both sides.
No, you're guilty by association.
I'm just,
You're a white woman in
one who
America.
chose-
You are the problem. You and your ancestors. You're just a problem for being alive. How dare you?
my
You just
ancestors actually
disgust
came
me.
from England, like after
Oh, even worse. Colonizers. Apprentice.
all their
All
stuff.
for the queen.
All this stuff. No, like after America kind of like already like was like fighting with each other, then that's when our family was just like, oh, I guess we'll come over now.
Well, anyway, send your hate mail to Rhiannon at this is
No.
no. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no.
You can send your hate mail to, topic of the week, or viewer letters to dj@moviepop.org. And if you'd like to solicit any nude photos of you or your grandpa's taint, please, that'd be totally welcome. I'd be happy to frame it, put it behind me on the next show. Just lambast me, hit it. I can handle it, baby. I'd love to read and hear your perspective. So again, that's dj@moviepop.org. So let's continue the cancel war because Kevin Spacey is back, baby. Boom. Oh, he looks sad. My
should be.
name
He's
is
been
some
canceled for a while.
Underwood, and my pecker is like an Underwood. It just sags and sad. Let's get through this real quick because we're about an hour, 4 minutes in. I'm gonna go another 25 here, guys. Can you hang around? Let's do it. Kevin Spacey's back. His first film post sexy naughty allegations. Sexy naughty boy. Kevin Spacey is set to make his return to acting in an Italian film directed by who cares. This casting will mark the disgraced actor's first film role following multiple sexual assault and misconduct allegations that were brought forth against him beginning in late 2017. At which point he thought, pulling out the 30-year-old gay card he had hidden up his anus would absolve him of these crimes or alleged crimes, but no. So, briefly, how do you feel?
How do I feel about this? I mean, I don't want to keep digging my hole here.
Oh, baby. It's already been done, Doug. You better make it nice and comfy, nice and deep, because them bombs are going to be dropping on us, and we need shelter.
So there's a difference, and this is interesting because I grew up a very opinionated person, but then fortunately majored in broadcast journalism, where I learned about the word allegedly. And you can't really crucify someone who's been allegedly convicted or allegedly, I don't know, accused of something. I mean, here in our country, you have to have a fair trial. So I don't know, I can't talk intelligently enough about Kevin Spacey, but I have heard from industry professionals who have worked with him on certain things. So I have heard, and we discussed this briefly, but I don't know. I feel like if something is allegedly, I don't know if they should be canceled immediately. Kind of like this whole like Johnny Depp thing. Like that was all like nothing. It wasn't confirmed, was it?
Nope. Like you said, allegedly. Part of the problem with cancel culture. So, not to say allegations should not be taken considerably.
Right.
But we do live in a country of presumed innocence until guilty.
Right,
and
we should.
Evidence must be brought forward. Otherwise, we're just going to believe every Joe Hobo who says, hey, man, you know, X, Y, and Z, and yeah, you get it. I don't need to fill in. You know how creative my imagination can get.
Right, like we just had that conversation is like, what stops me from, you know, calling out someone famous? And,
yeah, like I just flashed you before we had this conversation, and I pulled my gaping asshole out, and I had a pangolin and a palm civet crawl out of it, and I was like, hey.
I don't even want to imagine that, but I've never physically seen that. But
I thought she was cool with it. She didn't say nothing back, man. I don't know.
But what prevents me from saying something and like destroying someone's career until they're proven innocent? You know?
Right. Yeah.
Like if you turn the tables and do that to me, like if I had to put my entire career on hold for 5 to 10 years while there's a trial, then that sucks.
Yeah. No, totally. I get it.
Sorry, I'm not being very eloquent about this because it's such a difficult conversation to have.
It is.
And I know that a lot of people say believe the victim, and you know, I've gone through things from working in the entertainment industry where yeah, I totally understand where the Me Too movement came from. I've gone through it. Horrific acts, but again, you have to look at both sides, and you have to, I don't know, you just have to assume that. Are you there? Did you just disappear? Did you leave this to me? I don't know. I'll finish what I'm saying though. But you abandoned me during this.
Did you miss me, baby?
Yes. So basically what I'm trying to say is like, yeah, I've been harassed in the entertainment industry, and it was very, very difficult. But I mean, what prevents me from saying somebody innocent has done something to me and then ruining their career? I mean,
right. So the question is, I guess, like
both sides. They're two different sides.
Let's discover this from two sides, guys. Come on, everybody, sit around the campfire here. Papa DJ wants you to set a spell. All right, grab some marshmallows. Some chocolate.
I do want to point out, like, this is coming from somebody who has actually been through it. Like, I've had casting directors, I've had producers, I've had directors do exceptionally inappropriate things to me when I was underage. So I can look at both sides of the spectrum. And as somebody who has gone through that, I can say we do have to look at both sides at all time. As angry as I was at those people in my past.
That honestly says it all. Honestly, I was just going to try to explain the logic through comedy. But you as a, I don't know, what do they call, what's the PC term? Survivor?
Survivor, I don't know. I don't like saying survivor, victim.
I'm gonna make it.
I'm just a person who unfortunately has gone through a lot of trauma, a lot of therapy from the trauma in the entertainment industry. This is why I'm not in the entertainment industry anymore. It happens, but I also know people who are really good individuals who have been called out for sexual harassment. And I'm so sorry, but like I've known them for a very long time, and they're very good people.
Yeah.
And so you have to look at both sides.
Yeah. You need evidence. You need forensic procedures. It's a forensic issue. This is not an issue of politics. This is not an issue of what we feel morally is right. This is a forensic investigative English common law matter of procedure, and we do not persecute people. We do not bend to rule of mob mentality in this country. Point blank. I don't care if one person saw somebody shot him in the head and all you had was that one single witness account, and it happened he was drunk and he's a space cadet and all this other. So yeah, he saw him. I get it. And he's objectively through the lens of God, we can say verifiably, yes, this situation happened. This not drunk fool hobo on the street saw this terrible crime happen. But unfortunately, we have developed our society based upon the rule of law, and more or less it works out for the best. Sometimes not, but it's what we got, and it beats mob mentality. And just like you said so perfectly, Rhiannon, as someone who's been on the receiving end of that, you should be, if anything, leading the fucking parade with the torch. But you're
right.
more.
But I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not, because I understand. I have friends and I have mentors who have been nothing but professional to me, and have been crucified publicly for sexual harassment. And once I listened to their side, I go, it sounded like it was the beginning of a relationship. And then once the person decided to end said relationship, they decided to go public with some stuff to kill your career. And it's really an awful thing to do.
It's a tactic.
Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, I've been on the receiving end of unwanted advancements, but I've also known people who, unfortunately, I would call them victims of being shamed for something that was completely taken out of context. So.
Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth.
I hope I'm not a horse.
A beautiful horse.
Oh no. So yeah, I think that we should certainly look at all sides.
All sides.
And, Johnny Depp's like a great example.
Yeah, for real, right? Talk about when the tables are turned. The man is just presumed the beast, and he loses the house.
Right.
And you've got this crazy bitch just.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't do anything to him. He hit me. He hurt me. Oh, I'm just so scarred. Oh, I never.
I'm just gonna say, I remember when people were crucifying him at the beginning, and he got removed from Pirates of the Caribbean and all. Did
he get removed for that?
Yeah, he got removed for it.
Is that why he's removed from the new Harry Potter too?
Yes. Oh, and Harry Potter.
Which actually works out well, because I love Mads Mikkelsen, so I want to see him play that.
Well, things are changing now that the tables have turned, I guess. I should not be talking about this, but people are now starting to support Johnny Depp based on what evidence is coming to light. So now there's been a petition online to try to get him back into Pirates of the Caribbean and other projects. So
Pirates, yes. I don't want to see Emily Blunt as a pirate. It could be good. I don't know, but he.
So he's in talks now to get back on with Pirates, but that's just a prime example of crucifying someone before you have the facts.
Precisely. So, guys, I think we've raped this conversation orally against its will.
Do we have any comments right now? Is anyone saying anything about this, or is they just kind of going?
They know me. They know my
I can't see the comments.
Oh, you can't see the comments?
No, you can.
I can. Yeah. I'm sorry. If you log on to the site and view it separately, you can. But
I don't want to crash my computer.
I think somebody said something about deleting their YouTube account. I think Digital Nomad Sage said that earlier. He said, he says, oops, quote unquote, deletes YouTube account just in case. Because he said KKK, but which is a Korean thing. I guess Koreans, instead of saying LOL, they say KKK. Funny. Did you know, random fact, in Chinese.
In China, it's.
Nigga.
For yes.
Nigga. Yeah, my wife is she's like, nigga. Yeah, nigga. I'm like.
I have to say, really fast for cancel culture, there is a professor of linguistics for some university. I forgot what it was.
I think it was USC.
USC, yes. Yeah. And he was just simply saying
nigga.
That is in Chinese, in Mandarin or Cantonese. And he lost his job over that. Because
do you understand the context of the situation? We're in a
right.
freaking Chinese class.
Like,
he's not walking around Crenshaw Boulevard being like, "Hey, nigga."
He was trying to educate, and I overheard it.
Stupid.
I overheard it. I've heard of several examples of teachers being recorded, and then it goes off to the administrators, and then they're fired over things that they're actually trying to educate
Rhiannon.
their students over.
Yes. Paul's asking, may we ask whom these people are? Those falsely accused of course.
Who?
I don't know. Either you or I made reference to somebody who was falsely accused of something, and he wants to know who they are. Because I know you mentioned the linguistics professor for Chinese. Mm-hmm. That's verifiable.
Well, if you look it up, if you just look up like on Google, linguistics professor, Chinese class.
Yeah, I think Paul said, he said, okay, yeah, this is true and sad. But I'm just curious who Paul was referring to that we spoke about. He was asking for references. I thought we kind of detailed or prefaced our diatribes with whom, when, where, and what the context was. But yeah, if I failed in that, or we failed in that, Paul, clarify.
Unfortunately, it happens all the time. Like, people are canceled quite often. So
Johnny Depp, Digital Nomad said, but then we said Johnny Depp, so I don't know.
No, we explained that, I think.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that trial has been going on for a very long time. And
yeah. Hey, we got 2 more topics to cover here. We're skipping over the rest. The last one's going to be cancel culture-ish, and then I'm really going to just take it to town with the biggest topic of the year. It starts with a little C and ends with 9. We'll see what the other letters and hyphen might be in between those things, but it's kind of ruined everything for everyone, so. All right, let's move on, shall we?
Please.
Henry Cavill and Highlander reboot. We're going to skip that. There we are. John Cena apologizes and sucks the stumpy Communist Chinese Party wang. Oh, poor John Cena. Look at him. Oh. He's very sorry for saying Taiwan is a country. Oh. The Fast and Furious actor and wrestler apologizes profusely on social media for offending Chinese fans. Chinese fans who don't have access to Instagram or Twitter or any of the means of communications we all share and enjoy. So what Chinese fans were offended, I don't know, but the CCP says that's what's going on. So let's just believe them, communists. Sorry. Fast and Furious star and wrestler John Cena began learning Mandarin Chinese nearly a decade ago. That's impressive. I thought he was a jarhead.
That is impressive.
Wow. Dude, Chinese is fudging hard. I'm sorry. I can speak Japanese. I can read and write it at a child's level. I'm intending to improve upon that. But good God, when I look at Chinese, that is so hard. So, wow. I did not know that. That's great.
Well,
anyhow.
Is it Cantonese or Mandarin?
Sorry?
Is it Cantonese that he's learning or Mandarin?
I think Mandarin. So, but even so, right? Imagine learning just Mandarin on its own. That's hard. Then you have another dialect, fucking Cantonese. Right. Make like the impossible even more impossible. Yeah, great language system, guys. Anyways. But this
at least he's trying.
No, I mean, great on him. I'm just saying, like, to the ancient Chinese, Mao Zedong, no, not Mao Zedong, Confucius, or whoever developed those hieroglyphs. Why? 8,000 characters, man.
Yeah.
You know, A through Z, man. We got it. We covered. We're good. Anyways. Oh, God. I'm just going to get so political. I need to contain myself. But this month, by showing off his linguistic skill in Taiwan, he got into trouble in mainland China. On Tuesday, Cena apologized for calling Taiwan a country in an interview he gave to a Taiwanese broadcaster earlier this month, saying that it was not appropriate. Quote, I made a mistake. I must say right now, it's so, this is literal, so important. I love and respect Chinese people. Cena said to his 600,000 fans on his Chinese Weibo account. Damn, he's got yellow fever. If I reckon.
He's on Weibo?
Is that Weibo?
Wow.
You know he likes the yellow poon. I'm very sorry for my mistakes. Sorry. I'm really sorry. You have to understand that I love and respect Chinese poon and people.
He did not say that.
No, he didn't.
He
didn't say poon, but he did say people.
What?
But I'm a guy. I have yellow fever myself, and I can read between the lines. He likes that. So, more than 10,000.
I've seen her. I've seen her in person.
Who?
I think it's his fiance.
Is she Chinese?
No, she's not. No, she.
Oh, so he's been denied. He's been denied the blessings that is the Asian punani.
I mean, I've seen him in person several times from living in Tampa. Hi, by the way.
Hey, hi, by the way.
Like we're old pals. I've seen him like 5 times in person.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot he lived in Tampa.
Yeah, I used to see him a lot. I remember the last time I was sitting in a restaurant and one of my girlfriends was like,
John Cena!
No, seriously. One of my girlfriends was just like, oh, I just hope the perfect guy just walks in. Like, I'm just done dating douchebags. And I looked at her and I was just like, John Cena's behind you. And she was just like, no, he's not. I was like, no, seriously, he is. And she turned around. He had just walked into the restaurant with his girlfriend. And that was like right before I moved to California. I used to see him a lot. So now I miss you, John. I miss seeing you all over Tampa.
Real quick.
You would walk down through the mall and it'd be John Cena and be like, oh, it's John.
I'm really going to get off. Yeah, interesting. I really wish I would have seen John Cena. I think John Travolta also lives in Clearwater as well.
Yeah, I saw him twice. One was because we were at the same it was a Gasparilla Film Festival or something like that.
Right.
It's a film festival. So he was making an appearance there anyway.
The one thing with Gasparilla involved that I would ever want to be associated with.
Yeah. And Patrick Wilson, he's from Tampa.
Oh, no shit.
We have a lot of people. And then Megan Fox lived in St. Pete.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, I had seen her several times, and she's drop dead gorgeous.
Damn.
We had a lot of people. Channing Tatum lived in Tampa. I met him several times.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, no, we had a lot. We had a lot of celebrities in Tampa, but John Cena was always such a nice guy.
Yeah, I know.
He was so nice every time I saw him.
He seems really chill. I get that vibe. You get that vibe. It emanates through the screen, right?
Yeah.
Like Billy Zane. Doesn't he seem like an asshole?
Exactly.
Oh, I met him once.
Oh, really?
Here's a fun story, guys. We're just going to go around the loop here. Get this. Okay. All right. It's me. I'm like 28. Not as cool looking as I am now. I've got some crazy fro. I'm like, whatever. I'm with my brother, his girlfriend. My brother's 3 years younger than me. His girlfriend 3 years younger. And my mom. So basically, we're driving in the car through Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. Clearly, we're a family, right? And we're just driving, just looking at the houses because we just got some Sprinkles cupcakes. I love Sprinkles. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Best cupcakes. Anyways, and then we're driving and we see this car in this parkway and it's some guys pulling out Trader Joe's bags. I'm like, wait, holy shit. Bald head, weird thin eyebrows, kind of that pissed off look like he got some piece of wood from the Titanic still perpetually stuck up his ass.
Like Rose dropped his really expensive necklace into the ocean. Yeah,
he's still mad about it. Still pissed.
He's pissed.
What was it called? The Blue Chariot. It's a fake thing though, right?
I can quote almost anything from Titanic, yeah. But for the love of me, I can't remember. Then it was the Hope Diamond.
Yeah, no, because that was fake though, so that's probably why I know you're you're on the historical part of.
Oh, I'm on the historical side of Titanic, right. Guys. If you ask me about any passenger, I've got their download.
She's weird.
I can tell you.
She's fucking weird. Yeah. Harvey Williams, room 2AB, ended his last night with a cigar and listened to Miles Davis on record or whatever.
Yeah, that's complete BS.
Anyhow, pulling up.
There was no room 2B. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I'm just bullshitting. Black people are just fucking lying fucking coons. So, I'll just do
Okay.
what I do. Uh-oh, PC police. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, let's move on.
We shall. Are you telling me what to do because you're a white woman and I'm a black man without autonomy?
No, I'm just saying let's move on before it gets weird.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, boss. I'll sing, I'll dance for you. I'll do whatever you want. Okay, I'll let you go. So, we're driving in Beverly Hills, right? And snarly Billy Zane is like pulling bags out from his Prius. And I roll down my window. I'm like, hey, hey, are you Billy Zane? He looks at us like, yeah? I'm like, oh, dude, I'm with my mom and my family. We love you, man. And he's like, did you follow me from Trader Joe's? Are you with the press? And I was like, am I with the press? What am I in our rental car, like Toyota Corolla, with my family and like a middle-aged woman? Yeah, we're from the press. We followed you from Trader Joe's. What? I was like, no, dude. What are you talking about? He said, oh, all right. Well, I just appreciate if you kept going on then. So that was emblematic for me because I was like, wow, like some people you can really see their aura radiate through the screen. And I always got, I know some people are typecast as like assholes, but then you see them in interviews and you're like, oh no, this guy's actually perfectly pleasant.
Yeah.
I always had that feel for him. And I can confirm it. That guy's a dick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
In that moment, anyways.
I actually heard a quick thing about Billy Zane, like in Titanic when he like throws the table at Rose. Apparently, that was a genuine reaction from Kate Winslet because he wasn't supposed to do that. I don't know, but anyway, John Cena, I can vouch for him. He's been nothing but nice. Like every time I saw him, it was like in a public atmosphere, and he was just always so kind to staff, people who approached him. He was so nice. And I'm sorry, like I'm gonna say it as an American, where they don't teach geography in our schools. Like they should be, I can see how most Americans would probably not even know that Taiwan's not a country.
Well,
you live and you learn.
I don't mean to put you on blast here, but it's more complicated than that.
Oh, is it?
So let's go back in history here. China is an ancient country. It's been around for 3, 4, 5, 6,000 years, whatever. Gone through many dynasties, the Qing Dynasty, Qing Dynasty, so on and so forth. It wasn't until probably, I believe, the early to late 1800s where they adopted more of a modern, let's say, form of governance, which was influenced by the Russians because they were the proponents for the communist kind of manifesto, right? Marxism. And so, of course, that circulated down to China. So this is why the CCP is the single, sole, standing authoritarian party that has dominated mainland China for over 150 years, let's say, right?
Right.
Now,
and it's technically the People's Republic of China, right? Like that's the correct name of it.
Just like how North Korea is the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea. It's all bullshit. So, Hong Kong being a provincial part of China, but it's an island state, was annexed by the British.
The British, yeah.
Yes. Now, in retrospect, right? Sounds terrible. Oh, those damn dirty Brits taking over our land, giving us democracy and freedom. But, in the context of that time, you could argue, sure, yeah, you want Chinese autonomy, you want them blah, 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 blah. But how poorly that has aged now, because Hong Kong has grown to be a prosperous, technologically motivated, democratic, westernized democracy. On par, top 10 GDPs economically. And then, for us wanting to do the right thing and right the wrongs, we handed, or the British ceded control of Hong Kong back to China, or in the late 1999, I believe.
Right.
That's one issue. Second issue being, like you said the People's Republic of China. There's also the Republic of China. These are two warring factions between, basically, what happened in China, mainland China, was there was a movement of people who wanted to go the communist route, those who wanted to go the democratic route. And I believe it was the ROC. I'm sorry, I don't know the acronyms. Basically, people who believe in democracy, those were the Chinese who went to the island state of Taiwan and set up their own government and their own way of living. And they've done so independently, completely autonomous from China. It's not like they share tax revenue or intelligence or anything. They are their own thing. But China maintains a one China policy, meaning China, Hong Kong, mainland China, it's all the same. And anyone who disagrees with that needs to go to a concentration camp and be re-educated.
I've heard about that.
Oh man, we can get real deep into this, but
yeah.
How did we get here? What are we talking about?
About John Cena's.
Oh, right.
Taiwan.
So Taiwan, it is completely okay, let's go back because the comments and then what you said reference this. Paul in Long Beach said, he actually asked you about your Hollywood contacts. That's what we're wondering about before. When he said,
mine?
Yeah. What did he say before? He said something like, "Who are you referring to?"
With people who knew
where is it?
Kevin Spacey.
There was a question he asked specifically.
I know a lot of people in production.
Okay, he said initially, "May we ask whom these people are? Those falsely accused, of course." And then I inquired who he was. We inquired what he was talking about, and then he said her Hollywood contacts. So just to be clear, did you say some of your Hollywood contacts were falsely accused? Yes.
Oh.
I don't know if that's public information, anyhow, but
I have some friends in a very public industry. I'm not going to say what industry. But since the Me Too movement has happened, I have some friends who have been publicly accused. But I don't feel comfortable speaking about
no, for sure,
publicly. But I have some good friends and / mentors who have been publicly accused, and unfortunately there are some news articles about them. And they're good people, and I can vouch for them. I mean, I've known them for years.
Yeah, no worries. And I'm sure.
And they've shown me proof on their side how some people who have victimized themselves were initially on board with said relationship, and when the relationship went south,
boom. Yes.
They came out with screenshots that kind of killed these people's careers.
Yeah, that sounds very legit to me in a non-sarcastic tone. Like, seems legit. No.
Right. Like I've seen stuff that was released on social media or in the press that makes my friends look bad. But then my friends who I've reached out to have shown me the rest of the conversation.
Context matters, y'all.
And shown me proof that they received equal, if not worse, from the other person. So it was a mutual relationship. It's just what prevents, someone from saying, "Oh, this was unwarranted," and then showing just bits and pieces of what they received. So
yeah,
that's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm sure he understands. I understand. We're all on the same page. Paul, I'll give you, this is kind of an anecdote I was sharing with Rhiannon before the show, that one of my best friends in New York, so there's this whole thing about yellow fever, right? If you like Asian girls, you're just a yellow fever maniac who loves anime, and you just objectify Asian women, and you're a sick pervert. What's wrong with you? No, dude, I just happen to prefer that. I've dated Puerto Rican, I've dated Mexican, I've dated half black, I've dated white, yada yada. I've got the whole goddamn rainbow, man. AOC, come at me, girl. Let's get this Green New Deal running. I'll run a train on you and every other girl of every other color, person of color, trans, bisexual, whatever. Let's do it, man. Love is love. Point being, I prefer myself some Asian punani. And my best friend in New York, she knows this, and she introduced me to some people. I had a date set up, met this girl. We had a wonderful date. And as a man, as a man in the traditional gender role, the man is the one who usually has to kind of, initiate moves and conversations and so forth. But, be tactful about it. Don't be forceful. Be situationally aware, etc. So, of course, I had these probing questions, because I want to escalate it. I don't want to talk about ice cream and puppies and how, like, my heart is so tender and I would do anything. No, like, I'm going to let you know, like, men in sheets or men in the streets, freaking sheets, whatever. Anyways, asked her a question, to which she responded. And then further, like, kept going and asked me even more explicit questions. And then I just escalated from that point on her account. And I'm judging it. And of course, I have situational awareness, making sure she's comfortable, not trying to be a creep. And, from my perspective, given the fact that, like, the date ended 3 hours later, holding hands, walking to the subway with a kiss and see you later, only for me to find out the next day from her friend of a friend calling me how I'm a shameful, horrendous man for asking this virgin woman about sexual topics on a first date. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, whoa, 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 what the hell is going on? And this spread like wildfire across the group mentality, the whole entire group, people I had just met, completely didn't even want to hear what I had to say. They made their minds up. That was it. That was the mob rule. I was a pervert freak, not to be trusted, done and done. Luckily, my friend, she's part of this group. She knew it was all bullshit because she knows me. So imagine this happening to a nobody 23-year-old in New York at that time. Can you imagine that scenario being extrapolated at the highest levels of industry where people are trying to ascend the ranks and trying to leverage whatever methods they can to get success? Yeah, it seems probable to me that sometimes some women or men or whomever it may be might cry wolf for their own expedience. And that's where we're at with this whole cancel culture thing. Proof positive is absolutely necessary.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I do have to say, like, a lot of times that, things have happened to me that, I mean, this was also in the time before cell phones. Like, I didn't really have proof that this had happened. All I could do was commiserate with other people who had been through the same experience. So I do understand you do have to believe victims, but to a certain extent, like, you also have to look. You have to look at both sides.
You can believe, sure, but when you start to persecute and prosecute, sorry, you need evidence. And it sucks sometimes too, because it may be very circumstantially obvious this person's guilty, but if you don't have the evidence, what other metric are we going to rely upon?
Yeah.
Our intuition? We might as well start having, witch hunts.
Hard subject.
Yeah, it's hard. It's not, life is hard. It's complicated.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect.
So about John Cena, did you cover that with the whole Taiwan thing, or do you still want to talk about the whole?
Well, oh yeah, let me just finish on this, because then we get to the big C, the last and final topic, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging around. It's been a hoot. I've had a lot of pent up tension being locked in this goddamn cave, sheltering in place. Thank you, Fauci and Obama. This is bullshit. All right, you know what happened with the NBA. The NBA tweeted in support of the protesters in Hong Kong, fighting for democracy. Yeah. They're being beaten by Chinese triad gangs that are hired by the CCP, Communist Chinese Party, government of China. Imagine that. If the United States government rounded up M16 or MS-16, the Italian gangs, whatever gangs we got here in America, and then had them beat up Trump protesters or whatever. Black Lives Matter. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
That is literally what is happening now. So you have a member of the NBA expressing his personal opinion on Twitter, and then the Chinese party literally closing down all accounts, all access, media, blah, blah, blah for the NBA, $400 million in investment, completely locked out because they spoke out against the party. So this is basically communist Chinese coercion from China, basically trying to have us self-censor ourselves. Point in case, John Cena. He's not saying anything that's not true. In an objective sense, Taiwan is a country. Not according to China. There's only one China. There's no Hong Kong. There's no Taiwan. There's just China.
Right.
So.
Right.
It needs to be said.
No, I get it. It just, Yeah, tough subject. I remember being in China and having to keep my mouth shut for 20 days about my opinions.
Be smart. Unless you want to go to Nike camp or to Foxconn camp and make
Yeah.
some cell phones, or
Yeah.
shave your head and shave your hair, or get a hysterectomy and sing songs. It's all good. You're just in a camp. It's not a concentration camp. No, no, no. It's all good.
I
They're
mean,
happy.
I'll be honest. I loved visiting China. Beautiful country, lots of great things.
The people
to
are
see,
great.
But
The country is great. The government.
Yeah, but it baffled me. Like, for instance, like there's certain historical facts that happened that are not taught there.
Of course.
Like
they don't have access to the internet.
Yeah, well, I had access to internet there. It's just, it is true that I could not log on to Facebook or Instagram. I tried, but
No, I'm saying you don't have access to the internet.
No, I had access to the internet. I had access to Google, but I could not
That's
go
not the
on
internet.
to like.
It's like internet abridged, is what I mean. I'm being facetious.
I could see, I could look up things, but it looked quite different than if I were in the United States looking things up. And also, like, if I would go to my Facebook app would not work.
Yeah,
it did not open.
No, you don't have access to the internet as it is. You have
It's very, very
restricted version of the internet.
Right.
Yeah, and don't you dare log onto a VPN because.
Right.
Come with us. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll tell you when you get there. Where am I going?
Yeah.
Shut up.
We were warned when we went there. Unfortunately, our tour guide educated us quite a bit. He was from China, and he gave us a big heads up. I could go on a lot about that.
We could, but you know what? Let's talk about a lighter subject. It's going to be our final subject. Thank you all so much for hanging in. We're going on for almost 2 hours here. It's been a long time coming, so a lot has had to been said. So really, guys, thank you so much for having fun. It will not always be this political, but it just so happened these are the topics, and it just so happens Homeboy's got to say a word or two, and I'll try my best not to berate you over the head with my opinions, but they are true. All the time. So, with much depth and subtlety and humility, I would like to introduce our next topic. That's not it. AMC, Regal, Cinemark will no longer require masks for idiots. Yeah, I know. I just hit a nerve with you, Paul.
I'm vaccinated.
Oh, you... What?
I'm fully vaccinated.
Really?
I have a friend who actually worked on the vaccinations.
Go on.
One of my closest friends is actually an epidemiologist and is one of the most brilliant minds I've ever met. And so whatever she tells me, I listen to her. I mean, she's got 2 doctorates. The woman is like unbelievably smart, and I'm not going to dive too far down that rabbit hole, but I am vaccinated. I do. Yeah.
Well, when you grow your 3rd tit, I'm sure your hubby will be most appreciative. And when you move to Mars with Elon Musk and you're total recall mode.
Okay.
Thank you, Pfizer.
I'm Pfizer, but I have a friend.
You didn't want the big old juicy Johnson?
I have
one and done.
It wasn't available at the time, but no, I have a friend who's an epidemiologist, and she's brilliant, and I listen to her.
Ooh, okay. So let's go to Paul before I mouth off for 15 minutes. Paul in Long Beach, my homeboy. With much respect, let's read his opinion here. It's all of us, DJ. Our phones, laptop, desktop, tablets, TVs. That microphone you're using, the clothes you wear. Turn your dishes over and see where they're made. It's not just Disney and the NBA. Boom! Paul just dropped a mother fudging truth bomb on my face. What a fudging hypocrite I am. It's true. We're all hypocrites. And I compare that very prescient analysis right there to the fact of those. Get this. I am an anti-capitalist. Well, how is that? I have a nice car. I have a nice home. I have nice products. How can I be an anti-capitalist? Well, what the hell is my alternative? Am I going to go move to Alaska and live with fucking Boondog Jones and like, live off the land and suck like salmon bones and fuck grizzly bears? And no, dude, I was born into this system. It does not mean I have to agree with it or I can't fathom a possibility of imagining another way or calling out its faults. And to your point regarding the technology, the clothes that I wear, this is probably made most likely, like you said, China, Bangladesh, Vietnam, any of these third world impoverished nations that we bear the benefactors of their slave labor. Right. Get into this whole other concept of, the whole push and advent of globalization through the WTO and NATO. It has raised the living standards for most of the world, even though we pay them way less than we pay ourselves. There's that argument on that side, but yeah, it's complicated. My problem, however, though, is in areas like Vietnam, less so Vietnam, but let's say I'm not really even familiar with Bangladesh. I can't speak to that truthfully. I would imagine anyhow, based off my cursory knowledge of these countries, they do not have the kind of top-down structured control of authoritarian dictatorships like communist China has. I'll give you an example. I'm sure you've heard a lot about Xinjiang as of late. Nike, H&M, Apple, Foxconn. These are a ethnic minority of non-Han Chinese population in the millions who are under 24 surveillance nonstop. Open air prison. Now that's bad enough. And it's gotten worse to the point where now they're being subjugated to put into concentration camps to be re-educated to rid them of their ethnic identification, sterilize them, rape them, abuse them, separate them from their children, separate them, put them in the work camps. They're not slaves because they're getting paid. Not much. But you better show up to that fucking factory if you know what's good for you. And all that shit is shipped to us. We're the benefactors of that. And we're slowly learning this. Honestly, this is new knowledge to me and to the degree that it's been done. I thought we were living in a world where third world countries were making 25 cents an hour, of their own accord, and other East Asian countries, but the situation in Xinjiang and China, that I was not aware of. Forced labor is by no means acceptable. So yes, I do need to put my foot where my mouth is, and I will endeavor to do that, for sure. I'm not sure what the situation with Apple is specifically. I will look into it. I don't need to buy another Apple phone if it's being mined and collected and made by slaves. I will say that I know a lot of these trade embargoes and tariffs, especially by the Trump administration. However, you may hate them. A broken clock is often right twice out of the day. So to summarily dismiss everything the Trump administration has done as wrong is wrong. They had a very good position on China. So much, in fact, that the Biden administration is continuing to carry some of these policies. Point in case, 17 million tons of human hair being sent to us from Xinjiang province for wigs. Guess what Trump administration did? They said, nope, you take that crap back. We ain't taking it. You know why? Because it was shaved off the heads of slaves. Unwillingly. Uncompensated. Wrong. As Americans, we do not stand for that. If we know about it, we will not stand for it. Our ignorance has allowed us to be the benefactors of all these amazing products you see surrounded by me. But you know what? If we care about eating fake meat because we don't want to hurt animals, you can damn well assure that I have confidence in the American people that we will not stand for another Holocaust. So, yeah.
Amen.
So AMC is no longer allowing idiots to wear their mask in theaters. Because, a paper cloth that you recycled 45 times next to your ass and you've touched everything on God's green earth and touched and moved and it's there and it's protecting you from the virus, whatever, it makes you feel safe, fine, okay. Well, guess what? You don't need to do it because the CDC says it's okay. presuming you're vaccinated, even though you don't have to show a vaccination card, but we'll take you on your word for it. Consistent with the latest CDC guidelines and following consultation with public health experts, the same public health experts who brought you Brextra, who brought you Vioxx, who tells you you can eat a fatty diet and sit at home and stay at home and be fat and just take these pills and you'll be healthy. Those people. Yeah, trustworthy people. AMC theater guests who are fully vaccinated are no longer required to wear face coverings at AMC locations unless it is mandated by state or local ordinances. AMC said this in a statement. Guests are okay. I think we get the story, right? So, hey, great. I wasn't wearing my mask in the theater anyways. I was doing a lot more than not wearing my mask in the theater many times. I'll tell you that much. Ain't nobody stopped me then. They ain't gonna stop me now. Rhiannon, take it away, babe.
Oh, see, I'm vaccinated, so I've been starting to stop wearing my mask.
Cool.
Also, I had COVID last March, and it was the sickest I've ever been. Unfortunately, I know people who've died from COVID. So I've taken the past year quite seriously. And I've been listening to my friend who's an epidemiologist and listening to everything that she has to tell me. And she's the pro. So I don't have 2 doctorates like she does. So I've been just trying to listen to the professionals. That's where I stand.
And you know what? That's a completely reasonable, rational, respectable position to have. And of course, guys, I hope you know my character. I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to be crass. It's for entertainment purposes, even though it does, represent my views more or less. But to be frank and serious, because I do work in clinical pharmacy. I've done it for 16 years. I'm very familiar with the data. It makes complete logical sense for a person to want to protect themselves, to want to protect their family, so on and so forth. All the things you outlined, to trust the science, and I get it. And Paul just said, he's vaccinated as well. He's got the double dose of Pfizer, and I told him, I said, dude, truly, I'm glad to hear you say that. Like, that is awesome. I'm happy for you. Here's where I draw the problem. When you start to mandate it, that's it. No government body, no institution, no person should have any say so over what you put into your own body, and decline you your right to travel freely as a human being, as a free human. You decline your right to job opportunities. No, I'm sorry. And trust me, I understand the alternative argument. Well, if you don't do it, then you're exposing yourself to others. You know what? Guess what? I'll wear a goddamn Boba Fett mask. That's a hyperbaric chamber of the work. It's got LED lights. It's got fucking it's powered geared suit. I'm completely locked in my own dome. I'll come to work every goddamn day in that thing, not exposing you to shit. And I look fucking badass. I've always wanted to come to work as Boba Fett. So what's your argument there? Why can't I do that? Why do I have to take this experimental vaccine developed 10 years ago? Okay, here's my point. I don't take flu shots. I don't take medicine. I don't do any of that shit. You know why? Because the medical industry, and if you talk to people, I work in medicine. I work with doctors. I work with PharmDs, researchers, all of them. The whole of medicine right now in the West is not a holistic approach. It's not, let's build up the human immune body. Let's build up your natural immunities. Let's build up a healthy, functioning human body that can help and protect itself. It's let's address an acute issue with therapeutics that happen, that are effective or have efficacy in the immediate sense, regardless of side effects. That is not health. That is solving a problem at its most acute stage. This is why you don't hear the CDC say exercise, eat right, get your vitamin D, make sure your mental health is correct. No, it's shelter in place. Put the mask on, stay inside, take the shot. That's it. And you have to do it. That's a problem. Especially when you ignore the rest. And I don't need to go into the whole spiel, but most people who die from COVID, less than 1%, and they have comorbidity factors, sedentary lifestyles. They're already dusting Cheeto dust off their fingers. They've already got an ass indent in the seat that's so large, it basically is like the 8th wonder of the world. And then you wonder why, you know, when they get a little COVID that they can't cope because their fucking body's already half dead. I've worked literally in ICU rooms with COVID positive patients at the onset on this till now. Do you not think it's probable I probably already caught COVID? Guess what? Not one day that I ever felt anything. Because I'm healthy. I take care of my body. So
I'm pretty healthy too, and I used to be able to run on a treadmill, but after getting COVID, I haven't been able to get on a treadmill. I mean, I'm thin. I'm like 105 pounds and I'm 105 pounds and like 5'4". Mm-hmm. And I've always been a very healthy person, but unfortunately, like, yeah, I was sick for 4 weeks, mm-hmm. and it was like incredibly hard to breathe. And I know someone, unfortunately, who just died like 2 weeks ago.
Trust me.
In California, who was very healthy, worked in the entertainment industry, very healthy person. So I don't know, but I don't work in the medical field. I don't have that knowledge.
These are all valid points. And I'm not saying that's wrong. It's terrible. It's my own dad got COVID. He was admitted to the ICU. He was there for 4 days. He was on death's doorstep. I get it.
It's hard.
It's hard. But sorry, you do not know government, no matter how dire the situation may be, gets to tell me what I put in my body. Sorry, the ends do not justify the means. That sets a dangerous precedent. And I understand we do have similar concepts for things like MMR and measles and chickenpox, but guess what? These are live viruses, for one. We don't even know where the origin of COVID came from because the Chinese are keeping it a secret. God, this is sounding like an Alex Jones podcast and not a movie podcast. So sorry, guys.
Our podcast is kind of like completely. Also,
I'm just going to stop right there.
I have dinner reservations in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Let's just end it there, you know. Paul Lumby says, you were mandated for 12 years in order to go to school. Yeah, dude, I know. But you know what? Those vaccines are live vaccines. They've been studied for over 5 decades. They've had clinical trials through and through. We're talking about an mRNA vaccine, experimental, developed in the past 10 years, did not get any of the regulatory stipulations applied to most things we expect to come into the public sphere. And even those regulatory agencies that, you know, mandate these clinical trials, for one, or pregnancy category X for pregnant women, even in those instances, those drugs make it to market and have like probably 15% rate where they're returned or recalled. I don't buy PlayStation first generation technology because it's buggy. You think I'm gonna get that first generation bug virus vaccine? Nah, bruh. Not having it. But that's me, and that's fine. That might not be you. You do what you want to do, but you can't tell me I have to do what I want to do. Anyhow, glad we can go to the theaters and see what we want to see without the goddamn mask.
Life going back to sort of normal.
I'm so happy about it. It's great. It's wonderful. So, and guys, all of you have been wonderful. Paul, Rhiannon, Paul is asking you before we go. He says, how's her sense of smell?
So I didn't have taste or smell for that entire time that I was sick for 4 weeks. It came back, but I still have, like if I go up, and this is coming from somebody who ran a lot and was very, active. If I go up a flight of stairs, I still am out of breath. Also, something else that I heard of, is because this might be too much information, but I've had like 10 cavities since COVID. I never had a cavity before COVID ever.
Me too.
I
have like crazy cavities now.
Yeah, and I've had 2 root canals and like 10 cavities filled. And apparently there's like some research into how COVID and cavities have something to do with one another. And I was talking to my dentist about it, and they said could be. I mean, right now we're still learning about everything. So shortness of breath. I also get like a tingling in my lungs, it feels like. So my lungs have never felt the same, unfortunately. And I'm in my young 30s. I'm very healthy. Yeah. I've never had a problem in my life with my lungs.
Right. So, like I said, you know, it makes sense for you to take whatever precautions you feel necessary.
Right. I've heard of all sorts of things. I have a friend, a cousin actually in Dublin, Ireland. She knows somebody who is now, if you look it up, actually, there's a story about him. It's a young man who is now paralyzed from having COVID. So he got COVID and now he's paralyzed.
Yes, I've heard these stories.
So, and she sent me the story. I was like, wow. I mean, COVID affects people of all different ages, backgrounds. But I'm not a medical professional. I can't talk about it intelligently. So, but I am looking forward to us sort of going back to normal.
Yeah, likewise. I second
And
all
on
that.
that note, I have dinner reservations I'm going to have to go to pretty soon.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to get you into the whirlpool here with Alex
No.
Jones.
No worries.
But it's been a hot while. It's been a minute. It's been a year since we spoke, since
Yeah.
all this happened. So I think it's relevant. This will be
No.
the one time. It'll sprinkles here and there,
Talk about
but
it.
yeah.
Exactly. No, I think it's important.
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap this biatch up. I did want to have what I call American freedom fries, which I call open mic, free talk. But, we've been answering questions as we've been going throughout this whole thing. So no harm, no foul. I want to give a very, very special shout out to Mr. Paul in Long Beach. Bro, seriously, you're here for the whole thing, man. Even though we disagree about things, I'm glad to really have your opinion. I'm glad to have a respectful, intelligent conversation with you. That's the way it should be. Digital Nomad Sage, our moderator, thank you again, dude. I know you're working hard in Koreatown. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, my lovely Miss Tiffany for showing up and helping out and doing her thing. And of course, Rhiannon, thank you for bringing your wonderful insight and just positive vibes here. Where can people find you online if they want more?
This is Rhiannon on like Twitter and Instagram.
What's your phone number?
I don't I don't talk about anything TV wise. I just post a lot of travel photos.
Yeah, Paul, I thought it was fun. Thank you, man. Thank you. It was fun for us. And we're going to try and keep this up as well. I've got some things of my own professionally coming in the next 2 months. I might be away for a while, but I think until at least August, I should be able to keep this going. So hopefully Rhiannon will be here to join us. We've got another actress from Russia. Hopefully might be chiming in. But yeah, Rhiannon, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank all of you.
Thank you all.
Make sure you get your COVID shot, y'all. Have fun at dinner. Paul, peace out.
Bye,
Digital, Rhiannon, Shrimp.
See ya. Bye.
Adios. Bye-bye.